Greetings everyone, this is Professor Ankit Singh. Now we shall continue with our topic. We were discussing advantages and disadvantages of road transport in our previous class. Let us continue with Jayakar Committee and recommendations. After the final World War, motor vehicles using the roads increased and this demanded a better road network which can carry traffic because the existing roads were not capable. A resolution was passed by the chambers of the Indian Legislature 1927 for the appointment of a committee to examine and report on the question of road development of India. Indian Road Development Committee was appointed by the government with M.R. Jayakar as chairman in 1927. Okay, so a committee for road development was formed and Mr. M.R. Jayakar was appointed as the chairman of this committee in 1927. Now, after the meetings held in this committee, a few recommendations were given. Okay, we need to study those recommendations. The Jayakar committee submitted its report in the year 1928. So, the recommendations were: the road development in a country should be considered as a national interest as this has become beyond the capacity of provincial government and local bodies. Okay, this was the first recommendation, that road development should be considered as a matter of national interest. Second recommendation, an extra tax should be levied on petrol from the road users to develop a road development fund called the Central Road Fund. Okay, so all petrol users or all road users needed to pay an extra tax. Okay, and using this tax, a fund was being formed which is known as Central Road Fund. This fund would further be used for development activities with respect to roads. The third recommendation was a semi-official technical body should be formed to pool technical know-how from various parts of the country and to act as an advisory body on various aspects of the roads. Okay, so semi-official technical body needs to be formed. Okay, this is a committee of people, scientists. Okay, so highway research scientists would form a committee and they would give standards and discuss on various road development acts to be carried on in future. Okay, this semi-official technical body which was formed is now known as IRC. Okay, IRC stands for Indian Roads Congress. The fourth recommendation was a research organization should be constituted to carry out research and development work and to be available for consultations. Okay, a research organization had to be formed, which was formed and which is known as CRRI, Central Road Research Institute. Okay, so these four are the important recommendations that we need to remember. Okay, this is important from exam point of view. Most of the recommendations of the Jayakar committee were accepted by the government and majority items were implemented. The Central Road Fund CRF was formed in 1929 to build a road development fund by charging extra tax on consumers of petrol. Okay, so this was the second recommendation. In 1930, the Central Roads Organization was formed. In 1934, a semi-official body called the Indian Road Congress or IRC was set up to act as a platform for providing technical knowledge on road matters. Okay, so this is the third recommendation. 1935, Transport Advisory Committee was formed. In 1939, the Motor Vehicle Act was passed in the Parliament to set up standards for traffic rules, vehicle standards, driver characteristics and regulation. This act was revised in 1988. Long-term road development programs were also planned for 20-year periods. Okay, we will study about three of such 20-year road development plans. Okay, the Nagpur plan, the Bombay plan and the Lucknow plan. We will discuss them later on. Okay, in 1950 the CRRI, or Central Road Research Institute, was set up to carry out research and consultancy works. This is as per fourth recommendations. Okay, so there's some theory regarding Central Road Fund, IRC and CRRI. Okay, there are chances that short notes may be asked on these three topics, but they will carry 3 to 4 marks. So I'm not going to discuss the theory part over here. We'll go to the next topic now. Classification or types of roads. Okay, there are different criteria based on which we classify roads. We'll see the classifications now, depending on whether they can be used during different seasons of the year. Okay, depending on seasons, roads are classified as all weather roads or fair weather roads. Okay, there are two types of classification here. What are all weather roads? They are those which are negotiable during all weathers except at major river crossings, where interruption to traffic is permissible up to a certain extent. The road pavement should be negotiable during all weathers. Okay, so if the road is usable or is available for the traffic movement during all weathers throughout the year, then that type of road is known as all weather roads except at major river crossings. Okay, and what are fair weather roads? Now fair weather roads are those roads where the traffic may be interrupted during monsoon season at causeways where streams may overflow across the road. Okay, so these type of roads are not desirable, but they may be provided where there is low traffic, and if the roads connect villages with low volumes. Okay, at these in these type of roads, at causeways are bridge like structures. Okay, but smaller in size. They are culverts, you can say. Okay, at culverts or causeways, what happens is during the monsoon season, during the peak of a monsoon season, there are chances that the water may overflow and the water may flow on the road as well. Okay, in that time what happens is we close the road for that period of time. Okay, so this is fair weather roads, all weather roads and fair weather roads based on seasons. Next type of classification is based on the type of carriageway or road pavement. Okay, there are two classifications: paved roads or unpaved roads. If they are provided with a hard pavement course, which should be at least a water-bound macadam layer. Okay, if the road is provided with a minimum water-bound macadam layer or WBM layer, then it is known as a paved road. Okay, now what is a water-bound macadam layer? This we will be learning in the 5th and 6th modules. But for now, you can understand that this is a layer which provides stability to the road. Okay, and it is made up of aggregate of different sizes, dust particles and water. Okay, unpaved roads, if they are not provided with a hard pavement course of at least a WBM layer, thus these earth roads and gravel roads may be called unpaved roads. Okay, so gravel roads and earthen roads are not provided with a WBM layer. Okay, then these roads can be known as, or they can be classified under unpaved roads. and the roads which are provided with a minimum WBM layer are known as paved roads. Okay. So here what you see is a WBM road. Okay, here the top course is WBM, aggregate, dust and water, and then they are compacted. Okay, so this here is an example of paved road. Next type of classification based on the pavement surfacing provided. Okay, there are two types of classifications here: surfaced roads and unsurfaced roads. What are surfaced roads? Which are provided with a bituminous or cement concrete surfacing, and which are not provided with bituminous or cement concrete surfacing, they are unsurfaced. Okay. So here, this here is a earthen road, or you can call it as a gravel road. So it has no bituminous or concrete surfacing. Okay, so this is a unsurfaced road. This is a bituminous road, hence a surface road, and this is a concrete pavement. Okay, so this is also surfaced. Now, as we earlier discussed, that 20-year road plans were being planned. Okay, so the first 20-year road development plan, okay, which looks at the development to be satisfied after a period of 20 years. Okay, so the first road development plan was or started at 1943 and ended in 1961. Okay, so it was a 20-year road development plan, but it ended 2 years early. We'll discuss that later on. Okay, the Second World War saw a rapid growth in road traffic, and this led to the deterioration in the condition of roads. To discuss about improving the condition of roads, the government convened a conference of chief engineers of provinces at Nagpur in 1943. The result of the conference is famous as the Nagpur Plan. Okay, so since this meeting took place at Nagpur, this first 20-year road development plan is also known as Nagpur Road Plan. Okay, a 20-year road development program for the period 1943 to 1963 was finalized. Okay, initially it was planned for 1943 to 63. It was the first attempt to prepare a coordinated road development program in a planned manner. The roads were divided into 4 classes. Okay, during this road development plan, the roads were divided into 4 classes. Okay, what are the major 4 classes of roads? National highways, state highways, district roads. Now these district roads are again subdivided into major district roads and other district roads. Okay, and the last one is village roads. Now what are national highways? These are the roads which would pass through states and places having national importance for strategic, administrative and other purposes. Okay, this is the most important type of road that we design. Okay, in the case of rural roads. Okay, state highways, which would be the other main roads of a state. Okay, now state roads or state highways have the same design specifications as the national highways, but the national highways are developed and governed and maintained by the central government, whereas the state government takes care of the state highways. District roads, which would take traffic from the main roads to the interior of the district. Okay, according to the importance, some are considered as major district roads and the remaining as other district roads. Last one is village roads, which would link the villages to the road system, which would link the villages to either the major district road or other district road. The committee planned to construct 2 lakh kilometers of road across the country within 20 years. They recommended the construction of star and grid pattern of roads throughout the country. Okay, later on we will study what are road patterns. Okay, star road pattern and grid road pattern, we will discuss them later on. One of the objective was that the road length should be increased so as to give road density of 16 km per 100 square kilometer. Now this here is an important point. Okay, so within these 20 years from 1943 to 1963, it was aimed to increase the road density to 16 kilometers per 100 square kilometer. This means that for every 100 square kilometer there should be a network of minimum 16 kilometers of road. Okay, the target was achieved early. Now this target here, it was achieved early in 1961. Okay, it was planned to be achieved by 1963, but since the work was done efficiently, the target was achieved in 1961. Hence the second 20-year road development plan began from 1961 to 1981. Okay, so here comes the second 20-year road development plan. Okay, this is also known as Bombay Road Development Plan. Okay, this took place from 1961 to 1981. It was the second 20-year road development plan. The total road length targeted to construct was about 10 lakhs. Okay, 10 lakh kilometers. Okay, rural roads were given specific attention. Scientific methods of construction were proposed for the rural roads. They suggested that the length of the road should be increased so as to give a road density of 32 km per 100 square kilometer. So for the second 20-year road development plan, the target road length was 32 km per 100 square kilometers. The construction of 1600 km of expressways was also then included in the plan. Okay,